So, if you're someone who's looking to buy a home for the very first time, I'm going to share with you some very important key steps that you really need to take and really need to be mindful of before you jump on Zillow and begin looking at properties. By the way, I'm Troy Shively. I'm the team leader of Troy Shively Luxury Living here in the Tampa Bay area. And if you're someone looking to move to the Tampa Bay area, or you're someone who already lives here, I help people just like you navigate somewhat the murky waters of real estate and help you have an enjoyable buyer or seller process. Now, if you're interested in having a discussion, I've placed all my contact information in the description below. Give me a call. We'll schedule a time to talk about your path to home ownership. So what are these key steps that you really need to be mindful of? Well, I got a bunch of notes here I have compiled and put together that you really need to be mindful of before you jump even into looking at homes on Zillow. And we'll get to that point as well. So the first thing you need to consider is cleaning up your credit score and your debt. Now, if you go on a website such as Experian and you look up your credit score, you will also see a credit report. Sometimes those credit reports are not accurate. Sometimes there may be things on there that is not even your debt that got accidentally contributed to your account. There could be other things that are debts that you have already paid off, but they haven't been cleared from your account. And all of those things will greatly damage your credit score. So you need to go on one of these sites, check what your credit score is, and then check your credit report and make sure there are no errors, including the spelling of your name. That's also very important. Because once you do that, then you're going to be better set up to first understand what kind of loan you're going to be working towards. If you do a conventional or a VA loan, that means you're going to have a DTI around 46%. If you go FHA, then it's going to be around 54%. Now, when we say DTI, what we're talking about is debt to income. That is how much recurring debt you are paying on each month. That could be a car payment, student loans. That could be alimony, child support. It could be a new computer you bought, but you have to make monthly payments on. Anything that's a recurring debt is part of your DTI. And any lender is going to calculate all of your debt. Now, when they calculate that, then they're going to add on what your mortgage is going to be, and it is that total number that has to be below 46%, or like we said, 54% if you go FHA. Now, if you're looking at buying a property that's over $524,000, that is the loan max amount. You can go on FHA. So if you're needing to borrow more than that, you'll have to go conventional. So that is the first thing. Get on there, get your credit score and your debt cleaned up. If you have, let's say, 3 or 4 credit cards, keep one, get rid of all the other ones, and pay off the debt on each of those, and just maintain the one credit card. That will help you get your score up. Now, in addition to that, if you have a credit score of 700 or higher, then you can get a first-time home buyer loan that is conventional. And the importance of that is, one, if you go FHA, your down payment is 3.5%. If your credit score is above 700, then your down payment is only 3%. Also, on an FHA, you pay a higher PMI, which is your mortgage insurance. And on an FHA, then you do with a conventional loan. And that could be as much as $100 to $125 difference per month, whether you go FHA or conventional. So if you can go conventional, if you can get that credit score above 700, have your DTI with the home loan amount below 46%, then you're going to save yourself that $100, $125 a month paying a smaller mortgage insurance, and your down payment can be less because you can now just put down 3% rather than 3.5%, or maybe even have to put down 5%. So that is something that's very important. So you want to look at that and get all that under control. The next thing is you need to calculate what your true budget is going to be. A lot of people don't understand when it comes to that, because one, we're going to talk about the mortgage. So your mortgage is just not the interest in principal that you're paying on the loan. It is also your taxes and your homeowner's insurance. And if you live in a flood zone, then you're going to have to pay flood insurance on top of that homeowner's insurance. And just so you know, your tax rate can vary from city to city. The millage amount that one city charges may be different than the millage that another city or another county charges. So you may have to pay more taxes where one area on a $500,000 loan, your taxes are $6,000, while you go 30 miles away and your taxes are $8,000. So that is something to be also mindful of. That's why it's so important figuring all this stuff out, because now, let's say it's an extra $200 a month. That's $2,400 a year on your taxes, depending from one city to the next. Then you pay an extra $125 in your mortgage insurance because you had to go FHA rather than conventional. Now all of a sudden your mortgage payment has just jumped by $325 for the same loan amount. So these are a lot of things you want to kind of think through, get that credit score, get that debt under control, get yourself prepared to be able to buy a home in a way and manner that you're saving money and being able to put more against the house and building that equity and building that personal wealth. Now with that, you just don't have the down payment. You also have your closing costs. Now your closing costs can be separated into two sections usually. And what we'll call it is one closing cost and one prepaid. The prepaids are basically the money that is going to go in escrow to pay for your homeowner's insurance and your taxes. So that you usually going to have to pay at least 3 months in advance. So so your lender can hold that in escrow and pay it when it comes due. And a certain amount of your monthly payment that they are going to figure out is going to go towards that escrow so that the lender can pay your homeowner's insurance and your taxes for you. So you have the down payment. So on a $500,000 house, you're putting down 5%. That's $25,000. Well, your closing costs can easily be another $25,000. So that means you need to be able to have at least $50,000 in cash in order to begin that process of looking for a home. And it doesn't end there, because in addition to that, you're going to want to make sure that you have money in reserves. At least after you buy the house, an extra $10,000 or so that you can put in a savings account, just in case you have an issue where you have to replace a stove, which can easily be $3,000, or an AC repair that's $1,500. Just remember, an inspector can only look at a property when he goes through it and tell you what he found that day. Things break. I had a homeowner that a week after they bought it, their stove went out. But the inspector showed all of his reports and he looked and everything was functioning properly when he bought it. And when we say you close on a property, that's exactly what it means. You're closed, it's yours, with problems or no problems. But that's just part of home ownership. That's the way it goes. You take on those responsibilities, but in the end, is home ownership worth it? Absolutely worth it. So, in addition to that, the other things that you need to be mindful of is I would suggest if you're in the process and you're really looking at buying a home, do not buy any purchase over $500 until one day after you close on a property. And you may be out looking, you say, oh, I see this living room, but I won't buy it. I will put it on layaway. Guess what? It's still going ding on your credit. And that very easily can put your DTI over the allowed amount. And now you're going to be denied for that loan. We've seen people denied the day before closing. So you do not go out, don't buy a new car, don't jump into a new lease on a car, don't change jobs. Lenders look for job security. That's really important to them. Don't co-sign for anyone. We actually had someone who had 6 or 7 years earlier co-signed on a house for a family member, and now they wanted to buy a house and they were denied because that still comes up as a debt to them, even though they're not making the payments. So my suggestion, never co-sign for anyone on anything at any time. But you got to be mindful. You know, the process of homeownership is going to take a little bit of discipline to get you to across the finish line. But once you get there, it is so worth it. And 10 years down the road, when you have $200,000 or $300,000 worth of equity in that property, rather than paying rent and being out $200,000 or $300,000 in rent and have nothing to show for it, you're going to be glad you did it. Now, in addition to that, once you get all this together and you've got your money prepared to be able to buy the house, you know you have enough for a down payment, you know you have enough for closing costs, you have some money in reserves that's set aside, you've gotten that credit score up, you got your debt down, you're ready to go, then you need to really be talking to a lender. Now, if you do not have the name of any really qualified lenders, we would be glad to share some with you. Just put your email address in the comments, and we'd be glad to email you our lender list, our preferred lender list. These are lenders we work with. We know they've done good work, and we believe they'll do good work for you. But with that, you begin working through that process. Now, if you are working with a lender, here's something we want you to do. Ask that lender to fully underwrite you before you ever put a contract down on a property. What that means is the lender has taken your application, has verified your income, your bank statements, your employment, everything, and has fully, completely approved you for the loan. Now, there are some lenders I've seen, and they will say, well, I'm not going to bother doing all that work until, you get under contract on a house. Let me tell you exactly what to do. Kick him to the curb. Honestly, I don't put up with that. That is laziness. I would have a fit if any of my lenders would tell one of my customers that. Have a lender that is a good qualified lender, and a good lender will run that underwriting for you and get you fully approved before you ever put a property under contract. And why is that so important? This is why. Do you realize that 1 of every 4 contracts, houses that go under contract, actually fall through because of finances? Yes. The person gets denied. Even though they have a pre-approval letter, does not mean that they're approved for the loan yet. When you get underwritten and you're fully approved, that means the lender has completely qualified you for that loan. And when you go and you drop an offer on the property, and your realtor can tell the listing agent of that property and the seller, hey, guess what? My customer is 100% approved and underwritten already. That goes a long ways. If there are other people bidding on that same property, you are going to go to the top of the list because you're fully approved. And so that is something to really work towards. But also, as you go through that process, you're going to find out, one, exactly how much money the lender is going to loan you. You do not know until you go through that process. Two, you're also going to know what your monthly payment about is going to be. It can vary from property to property. And exactly how much of a down payment you're going to have to place on the closing, as well as basically a good idea of what your closing costs are going to be. So you're going to be able to calculate all those numbers and really know where you are financially before you ever go under contract on a property. So this is so important. Just go through it. You have to go through that process anyway. Do it before you go under contract on a property. We're about ready to close on a property, and one of the things that caused that seller to accept our offer was because my buyer was fully 100% approved already. So that's something to really make sure that's a step you take. Then, as you're going through this process, I know you're looking on Zillow, Realtor.com, Home.com, whatever, and you're seeing all these houses, and you see that little button, and you are so tempted to press that button that says schedule a showing. And let me say one thing, don't do it. In August of 2024, actually August 17th of 2024, there was a mandate placed before all realtors in the United States. That means that before I can take someone and show them a property, before I ever can allow that person to enter the front doors, that person has to sign what's called a BBA, which is a buyer's broker agreement, or at least a showing agreement, which means for that property, no matter what, I'm going to be your realtor, or with the BBA, I'm going to be your realtor moving forward for any property. If you press that button and you come up and you get some sloppy realtor who you don't like at all, guess what? If you view that house, you're stuck with that realtor, because that realtor cannot let you in the front doors without first making you sign either a showing agreement or a buyer's broker's agreement. So what do? Well, first thing I would do is go to YouTube, go to Live in Tampa with Troy Shively, and there's a button on there that says contact. And click on that, fill out the form, and send it to us, and we would be glad to schedule a time to discuss your path to home ownership. But you really need to find a quality realtor that's going to take good care of you. That's so important. And one that can help you navigate some of the difficulties with home ownership and allow that process to be as smooth as possible and as enjoyable as possible. Now, as you're looking at homes, something to really consider, and I tell everyone this, the very first thing you should think of when buying a home is, how easily can I sell this home? Are you in a good school district? Are you in an area that has low crime? Are you in an area that's conveniently located to a lot of different places or interstates or things of that nature to get around town with? That is incredibly important. I've seen sometimes where people buy a house that's really not a great area, but it was new or it was freshly renovated. They got all caught up on, oh, it's so pretty and it's so shiny and new. But guess what? When you go to sell it, it's no more shiny and new. And the next buyer is not going to have the same feelings that you did when you first saw that all shiny and new. So whenever you look for a house, the very first thing, ask yourself, how easy can I sell this property? You may be going into this house thinking, I'm going to live here forever though. Problem is, the average person after they buy their first home only lives in that house on an average of about 7 years. The chances of you living in that house and that's your forever home is very slim. Things happen, change of life happens, career changes happen, employment changes happen, and you're forced to move. So things do occur, and things that you don't plan on that may force you to have to sell that property. So the very first thing is ask yourself, how well can I sell this property? Is this property in an area that is going to grow in value? That's all this stuff is really important. And then start looking at what are the things I really need. Do you want a pool? Okay, a lot of people here in Florida love to have a pool. Do you realize that if you buy a house with a pool already, that pool only increased the value of the house for about half of the cost that it actually cost to build the pool. So that pool cost $100,000. On average, it's only going to increase the home value by $50,000. So you can save yourself a lot of money if you find a house that already has a pool rather than adding one afterwards. The other thing is, are you really committed to having hardwood floors? Well, guess what? If you can find a house that already has it, once again, it's a lot cheaper to buy a house that it's already installed in than having to spend $20,000 or $30,000 having it done after you buy the house. So those are a lot of things to think of. Your kitchen, do you like dark cabinets or do you want white cabinets? There's a lot of properties that are out there and they're available for sale. Just don't jump, into the water of buying and get something that you're not fully satisfied with. Take your time and look. Like I've told a lot of buyers, listen, there's new properties that hit the market every day. Don't think that's going to be the last one. Or if they're asking too much money for the property, don't sit there and get in a bidding war and pay more than what you should for a property. I've seen people do that and take them 4 or 5, 6 years just for that property to grow in value to come back to the price they actually paid for it. So don't get caught up in it. This is as much as making a wise financial decision as it is finding a home to live in. And that's why you really need a qualified realtor to help you through that process, and a really qualified mortgage broker to help you through the process. So you're making the right steps, and it is a blessing to you, just not being your home, but being a wise financial investment. Well, that's what I have to share with you. Like I said, if you are someone you're looking to buy a home, especially you first-time home buyers, give us a call. We would love to help you through that buying process.